nice to get a little bit of a break and kind of let that body fully recover, or do you wish you really could have played and kind of kept it going?
Yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. I grew up wanting to play this game, wanting to play in the All-Star game among the greats, of the game, and not to be able to play was tough, especially being in Cleveland, being there, not being able to really do much. That hurt me a little bit, but God has a plan, and things happen for a reason. So, it's easy to look at and say, all right, you get extra rest and get back going. But, although I was nominated and although I was selected for the All-Star game, it's definitely, one of those games you want to be out there and just be a part of it. But everything happens for a reason. I'm not hurting too much. I'm ready to get locked back in and happy to be back with the team and get ready.
How severe was the illness?
It wasn't nothing crazy. I just, the league didn't think it was a good idea. If you're not feeling great to come in, neither did I. I didn't think it was smart to just come in now. Looking back at it, you could find a way to get Steph sick and Book sick, and no, I'm playing. I'm playing. No, I'm playing exactly. But no, it was just one of those things that didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to go out there and as much as I would love to, I wouldn't make sense to go out there and be around those guys. To be selfish on my part, to do that, and I understood it.
Were there any of the 75 greatest players? Did you get to meet some of those guys?
I didn't get to leave my room. So it was, like I said, just a lot of moments of All-Star Weekend I was upset that I missed just because 75th anniversary, the greats, just being able to be around excellence, I think is huge. I think for me, it's like, you play this game, you grew up watching Mike and Magic, and I didn't grow up watching Magic, but like I bring up Mike just because I've never actually physically met Michael Jordan. So that would have been a moment where I could have. I was actually supposed to do the halftime speech that Ja and Luka and all those guys did. So that would hurt me more a little bit too. But it's just one of those things you kind of get FOMO a little bit, But like I said, everything happens for a reason, and it was a great performance. It was put on, at least through the TV especially, it looked like it was phenomenal, from the music, from the presentation at halftime to even the challenges. I think were great, and Steph was just phenomenal in the game. So it was just a lot of things missed, but ultimately we'll get ready for hopefully the next one.
You mentioned Jordan, and then obviously you got to shoot that commercial preseason where you met Oscar.
Oscar, yep.
Who were you looking forward to getting a chance to meet? Who maybe you have
at the All-Star?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Anyone else?
I mean, no disrespect to it's Michael Jordan. Yeah. You know what I mean? I kind of go back to a draft story, but I was supposed to go to Charlotte. I don't know if y'all know that. I was supposed to be on the Hornets. At least that's what I was informed in the morning. So, I thought I was going to be with Mike. And it's documented. It's out there, so you guys can say it. But that was my opportunity. I was going to go back for a second workout to work out, and Mike was going to be there. But things didn't align. The stars didn't align. And, so, it would have been great to just been able to just meet him for the first time just because I played his tapes growing up. I've watched Unstoppables, Unforgettables, Michael Jordan's Playground. There's all these ones that I still probably have on VHS somewhere in the storage. So it would have been pretty dope to meet him.
Kind of a weird question, are you capable of wrestling during the All-Star break? Are you capable of wrestling, or are you always in the gym working on your game plan? I mean, I know some of the guys really embrace the work, the break. Are you capable of that, or does it always work for you, especially during the season?
You try to take time. I think honestly, man, the biggest thing is trying to get your mind off it. With the way we lost to LA, I probably didn't stop thinking about that game until about Saturday, Sunday. Just because of how it happened and, just finding ways to get back and get ready so it doesn't happen again. And guys are different. Guys look at the break and come to it and say, but I didn't have 2 weeks off, but I wasn't playing, with the concussion. So my mindset and my getting back into shape is a little different than everybody else's. For me, I would allow myself to feel a little more than I would on typical All-Star breaks just because, it's all right, I've had the time to really sit back and just do nothing because I couldn't do anything. So, and then on top of that, not being able to play in the game, it allowed me to get even more rest. So I'm all right, let me just, be able to feel, watch some film, watch some stuff, but not obsess about it, try not to obsess about it and kind of enjoy this time because it's time to go.
How important is that mental reset and just to get a rest from everything?
I think it's huge. I think that's what that's what happened for me. When I had my concussion, it allowed me to kind of. It's not even just a rest. It's kind of a realignment, and kind of seeing things differently, coming back with a different perspective, coming back, being able to, sit on for guys that were sitting on the beach, or for me, it was just sitting down and just doing nothing. Sometimes being still allows you to just, see things differently, allows your thoughts to run differently, allows, your mind to kind of go different places. And then when you come back, you come back, one, with a greater appreciation of the game because you miss it, and then on top of that, it's like you come back with a whole different perspective, and, your priorities and things are aligned in the right way and ready to win.
Do you see that today in practice? Sorry, Eric. Do
No,
you see that
yeah.
today? Because, there was the trade deadline and injuries and everything was pretty crazy.
Well,
last
yeah,
week.
there's a lot of stuff going on, but I think now guys came back. Tanner, guys came back. With exactly with today practice was good today. I think we got a lot of things done. A lot of things. The biggest thing you worry about with All-Star break with all teams is just the conditioning aspect, and I don't think that was a problem. And I think for us, it's just we got some work to do. We know that, and you could tell with everybody's purpose, and movements. Not even just when we played, just when we practiced. You could tell with what we did in each segment, guys are ready to go.
And that work begins with Dallas right away, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big game. Is it nice to, come right out of this break and, you're right into it? There's no, or like warm team right now.
Yep.
You're right into it.
Yeah, I think, it's fitting. It makes sense. It's kind of like, all right, get your minds right, get a break, get away, and here we go. And I think you got Dallas tomorrow, and then we got Phoenix on Sunday. Those are two big games, and we got to go out there and find ways to win and compete at the highest level. And that's pretty much how we start in the second half of the season, and I think that's a great way to kind of go about it. Just go out there and, get right to it.
How do you use this 6 weeks to get to where you guys want to be in terms of level of play for the postseason?
I think a lot of it is the priorities, what our habits are, where our minds are, and I think, like I had said before the break, we had done a lot of good things moving forward. That's why LA felt the way it felt, because we had made such progress, and now it's like, okay, we've done it, for a short week, we've done it for a few weeks span, and then we let down. So now it's like, okay, how do we continue? It's not even how no more. It's like we have no choice but to continue to build, to continue to adjust, and to continue to lock in defensively, offensively, turnovers, finishing games. Because like you said, 6 weeks goes by like that. This will be a real quick stretch for us, and it's not an easy stretch. We got this road trip coming up, and then we got another one in March where we go east and then come all the way west. So it's like it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be just handed to us on a silver platter. We got to go out there and take it and get ready. And I think guys are locked in, ready to do it.
Two quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you had to wind up watching the game on TV. Which feed did you watch?
I watched the regular TNT one.
Okay.
I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. So what do you make of the Draymond comment about Rudy?
I don't think nothing of it. It is what it is. If you ask Rudy the same thing, I'm pretty sure he'll say the same thing. He has his opinions. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion. It doesn't really matter. We gotta go out there and win. We gotta go out there and compete. So that's it. We're not really stressed about it.
Quick follow-up to that. Why is there was this story that came out of Real GM today kind of addressing this too.
Addressing the what?
Kind of perception, the league-wide perception of Rudy by other players around the league. I guess like a few years ago, KD kind of made an oblique on. Why is there such a negative perception of Rudy seemingly among other guys? Or is that really a thing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's – I think a lot of this stuff, man, now being in this for 5 years and being a fan like 6 years ago, like a lot of this stuff is like external, a lot more external than it may seem, and it's the job of, well, you guys to take something and kind of make it into something, I don't think, like, for instance, they were all at the All-Star game. If that was like they're all getting along and they're in the locker room, like if it was really that way, it wouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? Like you saw Rudy and not Rudy, you saw Kat and Jimmy on the same team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think a lot of this stuff is like, you know, it's for the fans, you know. And as a fan I was a fan 6 years ago, like it was great. It was great to be like at school, be like, oh shoot, like so and so did whatever, or so and so doesn't like this. I think now being in it, I understand what it really is. You know, that's why I don't really like to, when I answer your question, I really just brush it off because it's just like whatever. You know, our job is to go out there and hoop, and quite frankly, the people's jobs is to make things out to be what they are, and that's what drives business. That's what drives the social media. That's what it is, you know. And we can't sit here and try and stop it because it's never going to stop. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, still go out there and take care of what we got to take care of. You know, Rudy's been the face of a lot of different things, and he's continued to push through it and persevere. And so have we as a team. So, you know, it doesn't really matter to us, you know. But that's different people's perception.
Now that you're a week out of it, how do you look back at the Lakers game?
You're really bringing up old shit, man. No, it's lack of focus, lack of attention to detail. I would say, you know, there are a few times, you know, you could point to, like, you know, the one thing I saw people want to point to, you know, Royce's turnover at the end, like, why is it coming down to Royce's turnover at the end? We were up 12. You know, why did Donovan dribble up the floor against Ken Bazemore with 7 minutes on the clock, and instead of waiting for Daniel House to get to the corner so I can attack in space, why do I turn over? Why did we double Bron and leave Austin Reeves open at the top of the key? Why, you know, why are we in that position? Why are we giving up shots? Like, why do we double Bron early? Like, there's so many different things you can kind of point to. So it's like, you know, for us, it's like, okay, and we watched a little bit of it, but it's like, okay, like these are things that we can control. And I guess like that credit to LA, you know, credit to Bron and all that. But, you know, we lost that one. You know, we did things, whether it was turnovers, lack of execution, lack of running. We got out of what got us to that point because we felt like the game we had won. You know, it's easy, you know, right? Last game before break, you know, it can definitely get that way when you're up by double digits. But, you know, just for us to be who we want to be, like on Tony's question, like, you know, that can't happen. And, you know, I was really happy with the way we have continuously played throughout the past few weeks. And even for 3.5 quarters, you know, we did a solid job. But, you know, when you're playing against a team, doesn't matter who it is, you know, you got to make sure you keep our foot on the gas. And, you know, it's painful to have to say that again. But, you know, it's one of those things that'll stick with us. And, you know, hopefully in June we'll look back and say, thank God LA happened, because now we understand, and, you know, we can use it as a moment to push forward.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.